Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. What can I say, Chaplain Rattan? I want to say so much because the moment I walked into the Pentagon and came past security clearance, and there you were, and you said, "Welcome, Miss Inni," I felt I'd come home. Thank you for that, because I know this is our second time, but I felt I'd been here forever. And you were able to do that. And for me to feel that, bravo. Thank you. So we're here to celebrate Vaisakhi, and Simranjeet has explained to us the significance so very beautifully. For it was the Vaisakhi of 1699 when the 10th Guru inaugurated the Khalsa Panth. And the Panth is a community of committed Sikhs. And the Guru entrusted them with a calling. The calling was to eradicate human suffering. Now, the just war theory of the Khalsa is, when all means fail, it is just to pick up the sword. It would not be right for me to expand on this today, for the theme of today's commemoration is Seva. So, what is Seva? Simranjeet has explained to us a little bit about it. Yes, Seva is selfless service. Seva is spiritually grounded service. Seva is egoless service. Yes, it is all this and much, much more. Because Seva in Sikh thought is embedded with social and political responsibility, with a strong focus on standing for the service of the defenseless. Seva flows from the principle that the divine light is in all, and that light is the same. Therefore, there are no strangers, for the one resides in all. At this point, I invite you to journey with me. Let's go back in time. The year is 1704. We are in Punjab. Sikhs are under attack. Skirmishes and battles are the norm of the day. On one such battlefield, we find Bhai Kanhaiya, serving water to all, including the wounded enemy. His act of compassion angers his companions, and how can you blame them? For the enemy has surrounded the camp and has stopped their water supplies and their food. And there is Bhai Kanhaiya, sharing their meager water supplies with the enemy. They demand he stop, but he continues. And before long, he is hauled in before the 10th Guru. The Guru speaks. These brave Sikhs tell me, you are serving water to the wounded enemy. Is that true? Yes, my Guru, he replies. What they say is true. But I see no enemy. All I see is the divine radiating in all faces. The Guru smiles and says, take this balm and apply it on the wounds of all who need it. This living example from Sikh history continues to act as a beacon in our lives. Now, more than ever, it needs to be shared. It needs to be remembered. And that is exactly what the Sikhs in Canada have done. They have formed a special cadet corps in his name. A historic charter was signed on April 10th of this year with the Royal Canadian Army Cadet Corps, forming the 3300 British Columbia Regiment, named under his name. It is the first of its kind. And today, I ask you, can my country follow suit? But this is not simply about forming a Sikh regiment, rather a regiment that remembers the one Sikh who redefined through his Guru what service means, even in the most challenging of human circumstances, war. It is a learning on how to be compassionate on the battlefield while serving the human spirit in war. Bhai Kanhaiya's spirit lives on, for it flows from the principle that the divine is in all. This highest, and truly it is the highest form of seva, arises only when we are in the constant awareness of the divine, Simran. Simran and seva go hand in hand. They are two sides of the same coin, both equally needed for one's growth. You know, our training ground for seva begins at our gurdwaras, our places of learning. From childhood, we are taught to cook, clean, and serve all who come there, regardless of their beliefs. One could say that this is where we develop true self-esteem from dignified work. The largest servings-free food kitchen in the world is at Harmandir Sahib, Amritsar, popularly known as the Golden Temple. It feeds about 40,000 people a day. However, on historical days and weekends, it serves 100,000 people. What is interesting to note is that 90% of its kitchen staff is made up of volunteers. And the volunteers are pouring in, for the need of the hour is great. The people of Nepal need us now more than ever before. The kitchens of Harmandir Sahib are working 24/7 so that 100,000 individually packed food packages can be delivered to them. They are being airlifted by the Indian Air Force. Many other gurdwaras have followed suit. This is seva. For we truly believe that when you remove the fear of starvation from people's lives, you make it possible for them to think of their existence on a spiritual plane. It is like putting them a little closer in their reach of the divine. Seva is physical. Seva is mental. Seva is material. With our hands we serve, as we do with our checkbooks. With our minds immersed in the teachings, we serve creation, for the Creator is within the creation. Never seeking conversion, for the divine light is in all, and that light is the same. Seva is becoming the voice for the voiceless, the shield for the oppressed. Seva is fighting for justice, but never for revenge. Seva is using your pen to raise consciousness. I want to pause here, because this is the moment of truth. By no stretch of the imagination is seva easy, for it must be rooted in honesty, humility, without desire for recognition, and with the purest of intentions. A deep surrender needs to take place within oneself for seva to truly flow. For only then, and only then, does seva become a state of mind. You know, Major Kalsi, you asked, what does seva mean to me? So seva is an intrinsic part of the faith that I have chosen to follow. Over the years, I have come to realize that seva is a personal calling. Whether I am sweeping the floor, teaching the children, writing parables, or picking up the sword, I struggle to serve with the purest of intentions. Seva is making myself available to all and doing the thing that needs doing in each moment, whatever that may be. Do I always succeed? Sadly not. But the one thing that I do know is that seva for me begins and ends in love. For I truly believe that when one is immersed in love, words become hymns, actions become worship, hands and feet become instruments. No longer does one perform seva, but one has become seva, flowing like a river, serving all, laboring and gathering bread for all. With grace, bliss descends, and one radiates love. In Sikh thought, the journey is the destination, and our journey becomes beautiful when we become our brothers and sisters' keepers. I wish you all here a very enriching Vaisakhi. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.